Guys, today's Broncos Breakdown is presented to you guys by BetQL. They give you the best bets each and every single week. They rank them for you from 5 stars to 1. It's awesome. It gives you free money pretty much. So start beating your sportsbook. Stop losing. Check them out. Use the link at the bottom of your screen along with the promo code CHATBroncos. All the information you need is in the comments and the description of this video. All right, guys, we got 3 topics we're going to talk about on today's show. We got the latest Teddy Bridgewater injury news as we're filming right now, heading into Week 5 against the Steelers. A full preview, head-to-head stats, everything you need to know about the opposition because you keep your friends close, but your enemies closer, so we'll give you insight on the Steelers. And then keys to the game. I got 3 keys coming at you, and then I'll give you my score prediction at the end. Before I give you my score prediction, I want to know your score prediction. I love seeing what you guys have to say. I don't think I've seen anyone correctly predict the score yet. Now, it's very hard to do, but would love to see some score predictions down below. Let me know if you got the Steelers or the Broncos in this one. I think it's going to be a close one. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments section. Teddy Bridgewater injury news time. It is continued to unraveling in a good direction for Bridgewater to play. Here's what a Broncos beat reporter, George Stoya, had to say about this. Teddy Bridgewater will practice some today. Sounds like a limited basis per Fangio. It looks like he's on the path to play for Sunday. Limited today on Thursday. Could be limited/full on Friday. I didn't think he'd have a chance of playing. It's just very difficult to clear concussion protocol in 1 week in 2020 in the NFL after a second quarter concussion against the Ravens last week. But it looks like he may do it, all right? And that's a bit of a sigh of relief. One, of course, Bridgewater's been fantastic through 3 and not really a half. Just he wasn't that great against the Ravens. Let's call a spade, but he didn't have much time anyway. But Drew Lock did not look very comfortable out there. Now, he has been getting a lot of the first-team reps this week if he has to start, so that's comforting because I do think there's something to a backup quarterback getting a full week of practice. That's going to help a lot, and head coach Vic Fangio can game plan around him a little bit more. But what I want to know from you guys is whether it's Bridgewater or Lock, does the result on Sunday hang on Teddy's status? This game is very close. We'll get to the betting odds in a moment. I'm right in the middle here. I'm at like whatever between Y and N in the alphabet. That's where I am right now. Someone let me know what's halfway in between those 2 letters. That's where I'm at the moment. But let me know what you're thinking down below. All right, let's get to the matchup here. So Broncos traveling to Pittsburgh. Got some fun facts here. We got a 3-1 team in Denver and a 1-3 team. But for whatever reason, the Broncos do not feel like a 3-1 team all of a sudden, which I think may be a little bit too much, a little bit of an overreaction. It's a pick'em right now on BetUS. Over-under at 39.5. Last time the Broncos won at Pittsburgh, you got to go back to 2006. And a 3-touchdown performance from Jake Plummer, okay? It's been that long. And also, Big Ben was the starting quarterback for that 2006. So, the Steelers have not changed much. The Broncos, they've cycled through a couple quarterbacks and even, picking up a Super Bowl since then. But pick them. Could go either way. A lot of it for the sportsbook just depends on who's the quarterback for Denver. They don't know, which is why, honestly, you could abuse this line at the moment. If it's going to be Bridgewater, this spread's not a pick 'em. It's probably Denver -1 or 2. So maybe go ahead and beat the books before the news comes out. I do like the under. Don't like either offense in this game. Love the defenses. I know it's low, but I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for unders. That's really wimpy to say, but I like a good under. Guys, talking about this matchup. We got some battles on the field. We got some battles here in the Chat Sports studio. The Steelers show. It's ahead. What is this nonsense? We got to catch up to them. So if you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and subscribe today. That way you never miss a single Broncos breakdown full of news, rumors, previews, recaps. But more than anything, let's beat them on the field and let's beat them right here in Chat Sports. Subscribe right now. I want to be ahead of the Steelers come kickoff on Sunday. Big Ben Roethlisberger. It's getting tough to watch him out there. I'm not going to make the old Yeller comparison just yet, but the Broncos may do that to him. He's not been the Big Ben we all remember and love from the years past. It is painful to watch. This is going to be one of my keys of the game later, but Ben, my heart pours out for you. There's got to be a change that's going to be made there at some point. There's been some rumors and murmurs about maybe sitting Ben Roethlisberger, moving on from him. I just think the backup position doesn't give you many better options. So just not a huge fan of that. What I am a huge fan of, though, is making money on Sunday. And BetQL helps me do that. I went 5-0 last week, all right? I'm going to post my bets each and every single week on Twitter. So if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter, Matthew Petey. It's down in the description. But BetQL cues you in for the best bets each and every single week. And they give you 25% off their subscription service when you use the link at the bottom of your screen, along with that promo code right there, Chat Broncos. Guys, don't lose. I mean, come on. There's nothing worse than sending that awful Venmo, making a really crappy description, and having to lie about it to your girlfriend, your mom, whoever it is, because you lost on Sunday and your parlay didn't hit. Let BetQL help. Now we're going to start looking at some head-to-head stats here. We're going to go tit for tat here between the Broncos and the Steelers offense and defense. So the Broncos offense compared to the Steelers defense. This is all per game through 4 games so far this season. The Steelers defense, I know it's got a lot of big names. Well, it kind of had a lot of big names. You still have TJ Watt, but no Bud Dupree, and thank goodness for that after last season. But their run defense, it is getting pretty tough right there. They're not budging a ton, and that's kind of Pittsburgh's MA right there. A little surprised to see they're letting up nearly 24 points per game. But third down, that's been the Achilles heel so far for the Broncos, just north of 30%. Luckily, the Steelers team is just a bit of a turnstile right now on third down. It's like Oprah, you get a first down, you get a first down. Everyone's getting one when you're playing the Steelers defense, so hopefully the Broncos offense can take advantage of that. Now, let's flip the script here. Let's check out the Steelers offense versus the Broncos defense. It's tough to truthfully evaluate this Broncos defense. And the reason I say that is they played Giants, Jets, and Jags quarterbacks and just teams to start the season. So the numbers, I think, are going to go up a little bit, but I do think they are somewhat accurate as to where they stand as a defense. I don't think they can hold on to 12 points per game all season, but the Steelers offense, they have not scored more than 2 touchdowns in a game all season long. It has been a horror show. Like, you cover your kids' eyes at this point. It is tough to watch the Steelers offense. It is not a pretty sight by any means, but the Steelers offense still has some playmakers. Najee Harris, Chase Claypool, Juju Smith-Schuster. They still have some guys that can make plays. So who is the biggest threat on the Steelers offense? One fun fact, well, not even a fun fact, Mike Tomlin, talking to the Broncos media earlier this week, said they were really high on Javonte Williams. So we may have a running back duel right here between Williams and Harris, 2 of the top guys picked in this past draft. So it'll be fun to see maybe Williams kind of stick it to a team that thought about him and passed on him, but I'm sure Williams is much happier right now to be on a 3-1 team versus a 1-3 team. BetQL also has a great partnership over at BetMGM. Guys, here's how it works. When you put $10 in at BetMGM, they're going to give, and you put $10 in, bet that $10, you get a free year-long subscription to BetQL, okay? Talking $10 here. That's not even a cup of coffee. And all of a sudden, you're locked in to some of the best bets each and every single week. From MLB, we got postseason baseball right now. They're giving you those bets right there. Player props, spreads, over-unders. It's all right there, and it's all in the comments and the description of this video. Just check them out. chatsports.com/BroncosMGM. Promo code ChatBroncos. All right, now it's time for my 3 keys to the game, all right? You know, I like to have a little fun with these keys. They're not going to be hard-pressing, boring, things like that. We got to get a little loose here on the Broncos Breakdown. So my first key, I had to change up the wording a little bit. Maybe you can fill in a different word, but don't just bump chest with TJ Watt, all right? He is one of the most disruptive pass rushers in the NFL. He got a huge contract extension before the season started, and sometimes when players get that big bag, they don't live up to it. He's absolutely lived up to it, all right? He's got 5 sacks on this season, for crying out loud already. Watt has just been one of the most disruptive players in the NFL. I mean, sometimes we don't even fill out the entire stat sheet there when we're doing these player bios because there's not enough to talk about. Watt let us do that, all right? 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery. So do not just put him on an island with Bobby Massey, or bulls and just watch them work away. No, you got to double team. You got to chip him with a tight end. Do not just bump chest with him. Key number 2, finish off Big Ben Von Miller. Now, don't actually finish him off, but Big Ben is not – he kind of is the Big Ben we've known lately, but not the big – it's worse, all right, basically is what I'm getting at here. So for Von Miller, this Steelers offense is already bad, and the only thing that's kind of keeping it afloat is Big Ben, and he's not keeping it afloat. Like, that's how bad it is, basically. So what do I mean by this? Von Miller, get after him. We have 4 sacks on the season so far. You got to tally them up against this awful Steelers offensive line that is just a skeleton crew right there. So for Von Miller, you got to get after him. You got to pressure him, put Big Ben down in the trenches. All right. Want to know what you guys are thinking, though. All right. What's your key to the game here? I'm going to give you my third key in just a moment, but what's your key to the game? Love having a two-way conversation with Broncos fans about what they look for the most. So let me know what you're thinking down below. Key number 3, a little more serious. All right. Win the run game battle. Neither of these teams is likely to have a great day through the air. We know Roethlisberger can't pass for shit, frankly. And between Locke and Bridgewater, either one of them is a backup coming in or one of them is coming off a concussion a week ago. I don't have much faith in either of them going north of 250 yards passing, maybe not even 225 yards, actually. So this game will come down between the tackles, between the hash marks, and it's going to be a big game between Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams versus Najee Harris. All right, it is going to be a running game. It's going to be kind of a boring game, honestly. It's going to be defense running the football, clock management, and who can make the most off a turnover here and there. It's going to be a little old school football. Nothing wrong with old school football. So not boring, just not, air raid West Coast offense. But what I want to know from you guys is, though, who do you have in this one? I asked you at the beginning of the show. I'm going to give you my score prediction in just a moment, but predict the score for me if you haven't already. Where are you feeling on this one? Personally, I'm a coin flip on this one. All right, I've got the Broncos over the Steelers, 17-14. I'm not uberly confident, okay? This is a game where I'm not going to bet on because I don't have a great feeling about it. So if I don't have to bet on it, I won't because I don't know who the quarterback is. It's that simple. Starting TBD at quarterback, what I said earlier. We don't know who it's going to be, so until I know that much information, I'm just not going to touch it. But I think the Broncos, if they have Bridgewater, they can pull out a win on the road and get to 4-1.